Hi and welcome back to my channel, Finding My Voice Again. I'm Rebecca and my channel is all about my journey and experience of having dysphonia. In my previous episode, I discussed how the treatment of having voice therapy has helped with my recovery, and in this episode I'm going to be covering about how other treatments have supported in my recovery. You will notice that my usual buddy, Boots, my conure parrot, isn't joining me on this video. He's just taking a 1 episode break from the limelight so that I can show you the different physio stretches and exercises that I do. So, to begin, one of the biggest things that I found has helped in aiding the pain that I have in my neck and my shoulder, which is associated with the dysphonia, has been doing some physio stretches, and I do these 3 times a day, every single day. So the first thing I do is start to warm up the shoulders, lifting them nice and high, breathing in and then breathing out and just dropping and relaxing them. And I do this 5 times. I then breathe back in, and as I'm rolling, breathe back out and roll back the shoulders. Once again, I do this 5 times. Once that area has been warmed up a little, I then start by tilting my neck to the left, using my hand here to very gently pull. And I hold this for 20 seconds. Breathing in and out using diaphragmatic breathing. I then return to the centre and do exactly the same on the other side. And I'll repeat this 3 times. I then will turn my neck to as far left as I possibly can. Once again, doing the diaphragmatic breathing for 20 seconds before I return to the centre. And I'll repeat exactly the same on the other side, like so. I will do this on repeat 3 times. Following that, what I will do is drop my head low, and then I will gently rock to the left, pulling up, and then back down to the centre, and then move up to the right, looking up at the ceiling. And I'll do this for a count of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Next, what I will do is taking my arm gently onto my head, pulling to the left hand side of the armpit. So it kind of looks like I'm having a good smell of my armpit. What that does is just stretch the muscle there, which is particularly tight, and I will hold this for 30 seconds doing diaphragmatic breathing before returning to the centre and doing exactly the same on the other side. Following this, I'll use both my hands to then gently push down and have my head in the centre drops down, creating a nice little stretch for the back of my neck, doing diaphragmatic breathing for 30 seconds before rising back up again. I'll then do a head tilt, looking right back at the ceiling, diaphragmatically breathing for 10 seconds, and I'll do this 3 times. Once I've done the neck and shoulder exercises and stretches, I also like to stretch my larynx to keep it as low as possible. So the first thing I do is do a massive exaggerated yawn with a big breathe in, and then hold it for 10 seconds like this. And I will do this 3 times. I then will stick out my tongue for 10 seconds as far as I can comfortably. And I will do this 3 times. I will then do 5 exaggerated yawns. And as I said, this is my daily routine that I go through 3 times a day, sometimes more if this particular area feels particularly tight and tense. For example, if I've been sat in the same position for a long period. So I learnt these exercises with the help of my voice therapist, who was Victoria at Yorkshire Voice Therapy, and I spoke about the therapy that I had with her in my previous episode. And I also have seen a physiotherapist who provided this guidance as well. So it's been a combination of the both, but it has released some of the tensions there. In addition to that, every 2 weeks I also do get that area massaged, and that just offers a little bit more relief as well. So I'd say that physiotherapy is very much fundamental to helping getting the larynx stretched down and that area less tension there. Another thing that I have done is spoken to a nutritionist and worked on creating a throat-friendly diet. So what that looks like is taking magnesium supplements, because that does relax the muscles, and I had exceptionally tight muscle tension around here, so that helped offer a bit of relief there. You can also use Epsom salts in the bath and really have your neck resting in that bath, being absorbed, absorbing that magnesium there. That's another way you can get magnesium into your daily life, as well as supplements and your diet. I also take omega-3 tablets because that can help with any inflammation in the body. I additionally take turmeric tablets because it's kind of like a known anti-inflammatory and natural sort of pain reliever as well. I've been taking turmeric actually since all of my health conditions came about, such as the complex regional pain syndrome, and I have covered in my first episode all about the different health conditions I have, so if you want to go back and watch that, that'll add a bit of context there for you. I do avoid acidic food as well, so anything like tomatoes, oranges, lemon, those kind of really sort of bitter acidic foods, and that's mainly just as a precaution against acid reflux, which can also cause damage to the throat and vocal area. I do avoid caffeine, so I used to absolutely love my morning coffee and I completely gave it up, which for the first week was challenging, but now I don't even think about it at all. It's really strange how you can completely depend on something to kickstart your day and then not even give it a remote thought. I know some people do have decaf coffee though. Unfortunately, I did try decaf coffee and it still made my throat feel very scratchy and sort of raw, so it didn't work for me. But if you are a coffee addict and it's something you really don't want to give up, decaf is like an option that may work for you. I don't drink alcohol either because of it being so dehydrating, and I'm trying to keep as hydrated as possible to keep the vocal cords and the throat as moist as possible, so that speech is really sort of comes a lot more easier to me. Chocolate is something that I avoid as well, and spicy food and fizzy drinks. I have to say, on occasion, I do have a little bit of chocolate. I'll have the odd acidic thing. The other thing that I don't have is dairy, or I very, very rarely have dairy, and it's always in very, very small amounts because I find it's an inflammatory for me. Something I do have a lot of though is ginger. I absolutely love ginger. I love ginger way before any of this, but for whatever reason, I find it really helps my throat. So I have like crystallized ginger, I have ginger tea. I love a good vegan ginger cake. So yeah, I do get a lot of, I put ginger in my porridge in the morning. So in any way I can, I do put ginger into my diet. I think it's a great sort of health benefit. I do drink 25 ml of pure aloe vera twice a day. That was something that was recommended to me by the nutritionist. And that's because it does moisturise the throat in that area. And I did find when I had the horrific burning that it did soothe it as well. Something I have a lot of is hot water, to the point now I really don't like cold water. I'm so used to having hot water. I do often add a bit of honey as well to that if I'm finding my throat's a bit raspy, and that offers quite a bit of relief there as well. And finally, recommended by my voice therapist, was glycerin pastels. So if I've been speaking a lot or I feel like I've overdone it, I'll just have a load of glycerin pastels, and I find that offers a bit of relief as well, because once again it creates saliva and that creates the moisture. So that's kind of covering diet there. I do a lot of breathing relaxation techniques, and that's to help with sort of relaxing my nervous system. So I'll breathe in very deeply, so my stomach sort of pops out for 3 seconds. I'll hold for 4 seconds, and then I'll breathe out for 5 seconds. And I'll do this as many times as I feel I need to just relax everything, to drop my shoulders, to just take a moment. And it does make a difference, I find. I found that chronic pain meditations videos, just that I found like on YouTube, have been something that I've experimented with and really enjoyed doing. I don't have a high level of concentration with them, so I just do 10-minute ones, and I find that is absolutely enough to give me that boost, to relax me, to start my day, to end my day, as and when I feel like I just do have that extra bit of processing time. The other thing I have tried is acupuncture, and that was for the sort of shoulder and neck pain. I've done acupuncture with all of my neuropathic pain conditions actually, and it's just something that I personally find a very relaxing process, which is a really, really strange thing to say when you're very conscious that there's needles being put in you, but it's not something that I find painful, and like I say, it gives me a bit of downtime to just breathe, to process, to relax, and just allow it to do whatever it needs to do. Something a physiotherapist really encouraged me to do was to get walking. So for someone who couldn't walk for a long while, that was really daunting for me to increase my walking. I felt very kind of, oh God, what if it triggers more problems? But I've done it very gently, very slowly. So doing like a 10 to 20 minute walk outside, getting into the open, getting into nature for, every other day. And I found it so refreshing. Once again, it's just having that moment to process, to relax, to really sort of engage in what's going on around you in a really positive way. And it releases, of course, all of those endorphins and natural pain relievers hormonally. So it's certainly something that I'm really glad that I've started to take up and build upon, and it's created, a real positive for me out of this. But I think, you could do any sort of exercise and really feel the benefits. So be it walking, running, swimming, yoga, do what feels right and good for you. But, I really, really enjoy it as well. Don't see it as a chore. And I think, you'll find, as I have, it really gives you a bit of a buzz, which is really nice. Something I have done as well is cognitive behavioural therapy, and I've done counselling talking therapy. This is something that I'm going to talk about when I talk about the impacts of having dysphonia. So that's going to be in my future videos, but I do include these as part of my treatments, because for me dysphonia, it's not just about the physical, it's about the mental and emotional impacts it's had on me. So to summarise, this video just covers other treatments in addition to voice therapy that I've gone through and that I'm continuing to do. So physio stretches, looking at my diet, breathing and relaxation techniques, meditation, acupuncture, massage, walking, and a brief mention of cognitive behavioural therapy and talking therapy, which of course I will go into more detail. So my next video is going to be covering the impacts that dysphonia has had, and I'm going to do a few of these videos. And the first video is going to be covering how it's impacted me at work and how I manage working with dysphonia. And my buddy Boots will be back on my shoulder for that, and I really look forward to sharing this with you. I hope you've enjoyed today's video and hope you have a good day. Thank you.